Welcome in. Today we're going to do a deep in the woods fall type painting, kind of similar to the one I have over on the wall there, this time without a cabin. You can add a cabin if you want, but we'll do that in another episode. Alrighty, so I just have my 16 by 20 black canvas. This is a canvas that already came black. If you don't have any black canvases, you can just buy gesso from a local craft store and just paint any canvas, any size, black gesso. Sometimes the black gesso canvases only come, in certain sizes, but if you want to do weird sizes like hexagons and things like that, you might have to get a white one and paint it black. All right, and I'm just going to show you some of the paints we have here today, so you can see very, very fall type colors. So we've got our Indian yellow, our alizarin crimson, and our, I always forget the name of this one, dark sienna. And then our Van Dyke brown here. These are going to be for the sky. They're somewhat transparent colors, so we'll put the transparent colors in and then bring that out with some titanium white, which is down here. This is just a little mix of alizarin crimson and sepia down here. And then over here, next to the Van Dyke brown, we have Van Dyke brown and black, just to get like a really, really, really dark color. And then over here is Van Dyke brown and sienna and white. And then we just have some sap green, cadmium yellow, and then this here is cad yellow and bright red. So we're using like these colors for highlights for the foliage and everything. So I'll go ahead and put that back down here. And then, since this is a black canvas, we're going to go ahead and cover it with our liquid clear. So I'm just going to take a 2-inch brush here and then dip that into a little bit of the liquid clear. The only brushes I'll be using today, I have the 2-inch brush, 1-inch brush, and then I have this oval brush too. It gives like a really, really cool like curved branches. So if you don't have a 1-inch brush, that's fine. You don't have to use that. And then we'll be using the fan brush for like the evergreen trees. So I'll get a little bit of this liquid clear here. And then I'm just gonna kind of daub that all over the canvas here. And the reason I do that is just to kind of make sure I get like an even distribution, so I have like a pretty good idea of how much I have on the canvas here. And then I'll go back in and crisscross. Some parts I'll have to really scrub in, so I'll have to go in and do this little circular motion here. So you want this to be as thin as possible. If you put your liquid clear on too thick, when your painting dries, the thicker areas can crack. Believe me, I've done it. So learn from my experience. Don't do it. When in doubt, just make it as thin as you possibly can. Okay. I always say if your arm starts hurting or your hand starts hurting, that's a good thing. That means you're scrubbing it in enough. Just gonna give it a little touch test. That's good. You just want it to be just a little tacky. Wipe off my fingerprints there. I'll wipe off my brush. Then I'll go back one more time and erase those fingerprints there. I see a little hair there. I'm just going to poke that out. I think that's good. Okay, no more hairs. Oh, one more. Just kidding. That one doesn't want to come out. Okay. All right. Wipe off my brush one more time here. And then I'll go in and put in our transparent colors. So, back to the palette here. So the way I like to arrange my colors is the order I'm going to use them in. You can do it however it makes it easier for you, but yeah, I generally put like my sky colors up here, background colors here, dark background colors for like the foliage and the grass and everything, and then my highlight colors I always have down here. And then white I always put over here. And so we're just gonna take the 2-inch brush again, tap it into a little bit of the Indian yellow. Okay, that's pretty good there. The reason I'm tapping it like that, I'm not adding more paint when I'm tapping. I'm just tapping it just to make sure that the paint is evenly distributed. So you want to see that. You want to see, you kind of want to see all the little bristles in there. You don't want to see like clumps. Because if it's not even on your brush, it's not going to be even on here either. So I kind of decide where your center, where your brightest area is. Like I said, it's kind of like a nighttime, deep in the woods scene, so it's going to be on the darker side. But we're going to do, let's start like right about here. See, as you can see, it's not like absolutely transparent, but this is the most transparent yellow of the Bob Ross colors. And so see, I'm kind of starting in the middle and kind of working my way out using these little like crisscross strokes here. Okay, maybe just a little bit more color. I'm just kind of spreading this out here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm not even going to wipe it off. I'm just going to go right into some alizarin crimson here. So see how I'm going to like just kind of dragging it down with the corner of my knife, or the corner of my brush there, is dragging down a little bit of paint and then tapping it into the bristles. There we go. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that crisscross motion, but do it like around that yellow. Get into that corner there. Let's get a little more paint. Rest my hand. And then I'm just gonna blend that crimson in a little bit with that yellow. Okay, that's pretty good there. Maybe a little more here. All right, then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a little bit. Oh, let's see, do I want, I could either do the Van Dyke brown or do a little bit of the sepia. Sepia isn't going to be quite as transparent. Neither of these are totally transparent, but this one's a little less. So let's go for sepia. Let's go for sepia. So I'll just tap a little bit of that into the red there. Okay. You can see it appearing a little bit in the corner there. see, crimson. Of course, it's very hard to see right now because it's all it's all dark. It's all dark. I'm not too worried about the bottom here because this is mainly just going to be grass there. You can put water if you want. Totally up to you. Okay, that's pretty good there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and wipe out that brush there. Now I am going to go in with another brush because I'm going to use white to bring out all these colors. But I'll have this one on the side for blending. So that's all I'm doing between colors. I'm not cleaning the brush with paint thinner. These big brushes, these 2-inch brushes and the 1-inch brushes, have way too many bristles. So not that they have way too many bristles, that's a good thing, but you don't want to be cleaning them with paint thinner while you're painting because they have so many bristles, they really hold on to the paint thinner. So like you'll never get it totally dry if you're painting or if you're cleaning it off in paint thinner and trying to dry it off and go back and use it in here. You're going to bring paint thinner into your painting and you're going to ruin your painting. Believe me, I've done it. All right, let's put that one aside here. And let's see. Let's grab this one or 2-inch brush here. So I'm just grabbing another 2-inch brush here just to keep the colors separate there. And then I am going to tap that into a little bit of white. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did with the yellow. We're going to start in the middle and work our way out. So, let's start right about here and just work your way out. So we're starting to get some of that orange and the crimson. If it isn't bright enough for you, you can go back in with white and do it again. But that is plenty bright for me. So let me keep going just a little more there. But you see I did all that basically without removing my hand from the canvas. So I'm just going back in and kind of blending this all up. Let's work those muscles. And at this point, if this is too yellow, you can always work your way back in. Okay, let's take a step back and see where we are here. Pretty good, pretty good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this brush, I'm just gonna wipe it off. I'm gonna blend a couple of these areas down here. Just get rid of the brush strokes, basically. And it's pretty good up here. So I'm gonna go back in one more time, starting with the yellow, and work my way out. This time I'm just gonna use, another brush again, another clean brush. I'm gonna use a 1-inch brush this time. Okay, so same deal here. So now I'm just kind of blending in and getting rid of the brush strokes there. That's about it. Let's see, we're getting kind of like a sunset, sunrise kind of feel there. But yeah, at this point, basically just going about, just like removing the brush strokes here, but just using that same crisscross motion here. And then moving outwards. If you move the other way, you're gonna contaminate your yellow. You don't wanna, unless you wanna do that. Unless you got too much yellow. Okay, I think that's pretty good there for me. All right, but see how I went back in with the 1-inch brush and just crisscross just to get rid of the brush strokes. You can go back in with more white to make it brighter if you want to make it brighter, but as you can see, I think this is pretty bright. I think this is pretty bright. Actually, you know what? I might go back in one more time just to extend this yellow out a bit here. So you can do that as many times as you want. And you can keep the brush strokes if you want, keep it nice and like painterly looking, or blend in your brush strokes. All up to you. Okay. Let's take another look-see here. Got a couple hairs to deal with. Got one there, a couple there. Because we had those hairs there, I'll go back in just, oh, I got another one, and another one, and another one. Come on, there it is. All right, good deal. And then go back in and blend out where we popped those hairs out there. Okay. Now we're good. This is also a cool way to do like a candle. Okay, so let's go in. Let's go in with our 1-inch brush there. I'm gonna go into, let's see. Let's grab a little of this Indian yellow and then some of this mix here, which is just the alizarin crimson and the sepia. So I'm just tapping this into my bristles. Now I'm going over here and kind of tapping it out because I don't want a whole lot of paint for this because this is going to be super, 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 super distant in the background here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bottom corner of my brush here, and I'm going to kind of start kind of like where the horizon line is going to be. And we're just going to make some really distant bushes there. Let's get a little more paint. A little more. These are really distant, so very, very subtle here. Now crossing over into the red area. So let's get a little bit darker. There we go. So now I'm tapping into the crimson and sepia without the Indian yellow there. Let's do a little in front of these bushes here. And let's grab a little bit of, the Van Dyke brown, a little bit of sepia, a little red. That's good. Just mix it on the brush there. And then get darker, darker, darker. Again, these are just dark background trees and things and shrubs here. See, I want it to kind of melt into the side there. I think I'm actually going to switch over to my oval brush there. You can kind of see the little curvy branch shapes that we can make with that. So these are kind of reaching over. Do some on the other side too here. When you're doing these branches, try to keep it so they're not like equidistant. If they're equidistant, they kind of look like fingers. And it looks kind of weird. I mean, it looks like fingers, like kind of. So you don't want that. So just be aware. Grab a little more of that color there. But a good use for mixing it on the brush is that you get a multitude of colors on your brush. One dead color. Let's do a little more over here. These colors always make me think like prehistoric, like dinosaurs and stuff. Tapping this color into this red that we had here. pretty good there. I'm gonna wipe this brush off there. I'm actually gonna go back into my little distant ones here, and I'm gonna give them the oval brush treatment there. A little brown mixing in there, and that's okay. That looks good. Maybe even more back here. Why not? Why not? Just real subtle like. A little more of that Indian yellow. And if something's too strong, just all you have to do is just keep tapping it. Just keep tapping it, and it'll go away. It'll go away. Okay. Let's see now. So I am going to go in. I'm going to put some little sticks and twigs and things in here. So I'm going to grab. Let's grab a script liner. You can use a script liner for sticks and twigs. You can use a knife. Doesn't matter. So today I'll use the script liner. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of paint thinner, and we're going to put it into. I'm going to put it into this color that we got going on here, that Indian yellow and crimson and sepia tone there. Sepia tone. Actually, here, I'll put it down here so you can see me mixing there. There we go. So I'm just putting a little bit of paint thinner into here. Don't put too much, because the paint thinner and liquid clear have a violent reaction. If it happens, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But basically, when you're loading your brush here, you kind of want to twirl it like that, so you get a nice fine point. A little paint on my arm there. All right. And let's just put a couple little things growing here and there. So I'm grabbing some of that yellow and pulling it through. That looks cool. Let's grab a little more paint thinner. Twirl it into that color there. Spin, spin, spin. Okay, and the other side here. Sometimes it takes a little doing to get the right lightness that you want. And I'm going to put them here and there. I don't want them totally solid or anything. That's pretty good there. I think maybe I'll highlight some of these little ones here. Let's clean off that brush. Okay, let's go back to the oval brush there. I'm just going to put in just a little highlighting on these guys back here. So for that, I'm just going to tap a little bit of green into some yellow here. It's kind of like a little spring green kind of thing going on. Okay, that's good there. So when I'm loading this, I'm kind of just going straight in, just kind of boop, 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 like that. There you go, now you can see. So you want that nice little spongy texture on there. Okay. And we want these highlights to be subtle, so, because these are still kind of in the background there. So not too overwhelming. Get a little more color on there. There we go. Showing up a little better now. A little more. And again, mixing them on the brush, you'll get a multitude of colors, not just one flat color there. So you got that one's a little more yellow. You'll go back in, get some more green there. Now it's looking prehistoric for sure. Yeah, just a little green and yellow there and there. Maybe a little more green down here. Ooh, that's a nice one. I love this like pinkish red with that green. That's a nice combo. All right. Just gonna wipe that brush off. So again, I'm just kind of putting this in the palm of my hand and just twirling it about. All right. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to put some tree trunks for these darker trees right over here. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I think I'm going to maybe put some even darker branches on the side here. So let's go back to our straight Van Dyke brown there. There we go. Just to have an ending tree there. That's good. Maybe just a tiny bit on the other side. Just to kind of close off the painting there. A little bit on top. And when I'm doing this, I'm holding the handle slightly downward, so that way the branches will also kind of hang downward. Okay, let's wipe that brush off again here. Okay, now let's put in some little branches and tree trunks. So we're going to go a little lighter this time. So this time we're going to go with the color that's Van Dyke brown and dark sienna. I keep going back and forth calling it sienna and sepia. It's, here it is, it's dark sienna. Let's forget. Dark sienna. So dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, and white is that color there. So it's kind of like my tree highlight color. So we're going to put some paint thinner into that. Drip, drip. Little drip, drip. Okay. Same thing. Just loading it in there, swirling it to load it, and then, oopsie, it's dripping there. Twirling it to get it to that nice fine point. And then, let's see, we're gonna have, nice big tree here. So since the light is kind of emanating from the middle of the scene, I'm kind of having the lightest part of the trunk towards that area. So I'm going in and filling in this trunk and making it nice and thick, but this side's darker. There we go. Let's go back in for some more. And again, like you're not going to see every little branch or anything here, because of course there's going to be leaves in front of it and everything. So we just want the indication. And yes, you got to make the noises. I know, it was good. My noises were a little subtle there. There we go. But it really does help. If we want like a gnarled one, you're like, you gotta get that gnarly sound in there. There we go. Yeah, let's do a little bit more. Couple more branches. Excuse me. Extend this one here. There we go. And you know what? Let's do on the other side here. Hopefully I'm not obscuring that too much. There. Try to get my arm out of the way so you can see. Step back a sec, just gonna see how that's going. Straight up here. Let's make this guy thick. Let's make him thick. And again, like some of these areas I'm going over a little bit to make the side of the tree a little lighter there. Just a little bit more for this one here. think that's pretty good for that little tree there. And I kind of, trying to think here, kind of want to give this one a friend here. Well, actually, let's wait on that because we have this darker area here. So let's go ahead and give some highlights to these ones first. Let's clean out my brush there. Okay, let's go back to this oval brush here. And let's see, let's go into this kind of yellow orange color here. Just kind of tapping that right in. Okay, and I'll start right over here. Ooh, that's pretty. Just think about the way the tree is growing. Now I kind of started doing my highlights in the middle because I wanted the strongest branches here. I want these ones to be a little more subtle. Let's grab a little bit of Indian yellow and throw that in too. I don't want too much attention towards the top there. Tap back into that yellow and red color. There we go. And with the branches, you're kind of start at the top of the branch and work your way down. So you want the brightest highlights at the top of the branch, the leaf clump. Leaf clump, I don't know if that's a technical term. The leaf clump. Again, more subtle up there towards the top. And maybe a little more Indian yellow. Yeah, now I want that one a little brighter. And I want these leaves up here to just kind of come together. There we go. Now those trees are looking nice and bright and full. I think I need one more. Bloop. There we go. Nice bright one right there. Yeah, I'll go ahead and hit a couple of these with a little more brightness. Why not? Why not? Just here and there. Just a couple little bright sparks. Something like that. I'll wipe my brush off there. If any of them are too bright on you, just like before, I'll go in with your brush wiped off, and then you can always tap a little bit, make it more subtle. So up to you how bright you want them. Okay, it's looking good there. I think I want a little hint of something back there, so I'm gonna grab Let's see, let's see. Let's try some of that alizarin crimson and sepia tone. Let's see if that's, is it too subtle? No, I think that's good. Maybe a little lighter, just a little bit. Let's grab a little bit of Indian yellow. Yeah, a little bit of that Indian yellow there. That'll be good. Just a little highlight for stuff in the background there. And you too, you can have some. Just a little. All right. Good deal. Oh, you know what? Let's do a little bit over here. I know, I'm gonna have one more trio there, I think. One more. All right, let's wipe that off. You know what? I think I know. Let's have one more little trio there. Make it a little more subtle. So let's go in with that tree color we had, that little trunk color we were doing earlier. And let's kind of make him emerging from those bushes there. There we go. And grab a little bit more paint thinner because it's not showing up too well. Well, I do want it to be kind of subtle though. There we go. Okay. Ooh, that's real bright. A little too bright, that's okay, we'll knock it down. We'll knock it down. And again, the way to knock it down, just keep going over it. That's it. No secret. I don't know, that's kind of cool looking actually. Happy accident of the day. Oh. A little more paint. There, that's better. And just a couple more inches up here. Yeah, I like that. Just real subtle, just popping through. Okay, fun. Clean that script liner there. And then, yeah, let's keep that corner dark-ish. And let's just put a couple little highlights in. Let's go back to, let's see. I'm gonna do this color, but just a little darker. So let's grab the alizarin crimson and sienna, and then dip it into that cadmium yellow, bright red mix there. That should be nice and subtle. So just a teensy bit of highlighting back here. So I want to keep that corner nice and dark. Yeah, that's good. All right. So I know we've been ignoring our bottom half here. We're ignoring our bottom half. I'm just going to wipe off. oval brush there. Now, let's put in some grass. Actually, you know what? It kind of looks like a little dark area right there. So let's go with that. Let's make it a path. Let's make it a path. Let's grab, let's grab a fan brush. You can use the big one or the small one, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna use the smaller one today. This is the number 3 one. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tap this into, let's grab a little bit, yeah, of the sienna there. That's what it's called, right? Just gonna tap that onto the brush. And then for a path, let's see, I'm gonna meander. It's gonna start right there. So I'm just gonna shushing back and forth. Just. So where do we want this path to go? Kind of like meander. And when you're doing this path here, this is why we're doing the path before the grass. Because when you put in the grass, you can cut your path and you can like resize it with the grass. So, you know, don't get upset if you're not crazy about your path and the direction it's going, because that, we can change that. We can change that. Yeah, that's what I want. I want it out here. Ooh, look at that. See, it got real big. See, I'm kind of like reshaping it here. Start small, and then pew. There we go. So now we got a little pathway into the woods. Shoot, that might be the name of it. Pathway, or pathway to fall, or something like that. I don't know. Anywho, so now we're gonna highlight. Now we're gonna highlight our path. So I'm just gonna wipe out that brush there. You can put the highlight in with the brush. You can put the highlight in with the knife. I prefer the knife just because there's a little more texture. And then when you put it in with the knife, you can always go back in with the fan brush and make it softer. So I'm gonna go back to, I'll go back to this color here. So again, this is the dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, and Van Dyke brown. Did I say Van Dyke sienna and white? Sorry, Van Dyke sienna and white. So I'm just gonna drag that down here. See how it's nice and marbledy. Cut across. Get your little roll of paint, and then we're just gonna do that same zhuzhing motion, like kind of back and forth motion, real lightly. So we're gonna start back here. We're just gonna and we want it light back here because that's where the light's coming from. But we're gonna have it more contrasty down here where it's darker. If it does get too light for you, you can always go back in with the same motion with a darker color. This is similar to putting snow on the mountain. Kind of that same kind of notion of just kind of grazing that color on. See how now my knife is almost flat. It's just kind of grazing. And again, like I said, don't be afraid if it gets too big on you. You can always cut it down with the grass. That's fine. Okay, so I think I'm gonna get a little wider. A little more light right here. It's getting wider and wider and wider. Ooh. Yeah, let's go a little this way too. There we go. Nice big old path there. Okay. So I think the width's pretty good. Now, I think this area got a little too light, a little smudged. So I'm gonna go back in, like I was saying, you can go back in with a dark color. I'm just gonna grab some of that Van Dyke brown there. And you can go back in and just put in your darks. Look at that. See, I smudged a little bit over there, a little there. And now it's dark again. Actually, I kind of like having some of that Van Dyke brown kind of mixed in there. Let me throw some more in there. Ooh, here we go. Okay. I think that's pretty good for our little path there. All right. I'm gonna wipe off my knife. So now it's looking like a storybook kind of scene. Okay, so on that note, I'm gonna go back to my 1-inch brush here. I have no idea what color is on here, so I'm just gonna wipe it off. Something dark. So I'm gonna wipe this off. And we're going to start putting our grass in. So I'm going to start with a little Indian yellow. So we got this little Indian yellow over here, and there's a little bit of crimson in there. So the way I'm loading this, again, I have my handle pointed towards the ground, so I'm just loading kind of like the edge of the brush there. You can see. Just kind of tapping like that. That nice grassy texture. Okay. And then we're just going to go up here. We're going to tap that in. See, it's really subtle up there. But see, as we're getting towards the darker area, see it's showing up more. I'm going to hit it a little with some yellow. Let's brighten it up a little bit. There we go. There we go. So we're starting to get our little bits of grass in. And this is where Bob always says, think of the lay of the land. So we got our land up here, where the trees are growing. I'm just going back and forth with the highlight colors now. I'm going back into that cad yellow, bright red mix that we had. Tap a little of that up here and a little down here. I'm going to wipe off my brush there. so that I can take what's already there and just kind of blend it down. So when you're doing grass like this, it's just kind of like putting in a line and then tapping under that line. And I always like to go softer towards the edges of the painting. I'm actually going to knock this one down a little bit more. So again, if something's too bright, just keep tapping it. And it'll get darker on you. Okay, that's good there. It's like, ooh, do I want to put some green in here? Yeah, let's throw some green in there. Yeah, let's throw some green in. I'll have this side go up a little too. There we go. This is what I was saying, like if you want to adjust the size of your path, now's the time to do it. Let's grab a little more of that greenish color. This little hill going up here. It's starting to flatten out a little bit. I'll wipe this off. Stand back a sec, just kind of see kind of where we're going there. Definitely does look kind of fantasy-like. I think these ones I made a little too bright, so I'm going to go back in and just tap them down a little bit. Yeah, just a little. That's good. Okay. Just a little more subtle. Of course, that's up to you. If you want to keep it bright, keep it bright. Totally up to you. Okay. Tap a little down here. But I love these. Love these fantastical fall colors here. Now I have to decide, do I want to put any more bushes in? Ooh, I think I'm going to put one right about here. So let's go back to the oval brush and go into our Van Dyke Brown. I don't think I'm even going to touch that Van Dyke in black. That's okay. Always better to have it not needed than want it and not have it. All right, let's throw a nice little, maybe a couple bushes right there. Ooh, those are good. Just add a little dimension in. The more layers you have, the more it pushes other things back. There we go. That's nice. Excuse me. And ooh, let's do another one on the other side. Let's do maybe one like right here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's have them kind of leaning out of the picture there. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I put another one in later. We'll see. It's always funny how I have one painting in mind and then when I go to paint it, it turns into a totally different painting. Totally different painting. let's do, yeah, you know what, let's, oh, decisions. What do I highlight them with? Kind of want more of that green. Or maybe just yellow. Or maybe yellow and green. Let's start with yellow. And let's do this one with just yellow. And I'm just tapping just real lightly there. But the same kind of thing with the clumps of the leaves, starting with the top, highlight there, and then just work your way down. And then let's go into a little bit of that green there. Oh yeah, the green against the red. Yep. There we go. Maybe a little lighter. Little lighter highlight. There we go, right there. And let's do another kind of greenish yellowish. Pew, pew. But this oval brush, so cool. Yeah, neat. I like it. Now we're bringing some of that green, echoing it out here. And then we'll have a little bit more green in the grass. Little bit. Okay, let's wipe off that oval brush there. Let's step back a sec, just kind of see where we're going. Oh, I know where we're going. We're going right up there. Just like cozy up right here, read a book. Yeah. All right, let's go back to the 1-inch brush. You can do this grass with a 1-inch brush, 2-inch brush. You can even do it with the oval brush or fan brush. Just might take you a little longer with a fan brush. But when you're doing it with the 1-inch brush or the 2-inch brush, then you get like nice long straight lines. So that's what I like about that. Okay, let's keep highlighting with these colors here. So again, back to, this is the cad yellow and bright red, and let's knock a little bit of that green in there. Here we go. Green and red are opposites on the color wheel, so they kind of dull each other out. Okay, let's pop that there. And since we have that red already there from when we were putting the sky in and everything, it's already, the red and yellow are kind of blending in to that red there. Let's get a little more green here. I'm tapping ever so lightly, very lightly, very lightly. In fact, I'm going to wipe it off. And tap even more so that it blends in here. There we go, nice and soft. Excuse me. Same thing over here. And always leave these little dark areas in between your lines of grass. That contrast really shows the lay of the land. So I'm going to go back up here and tap this out. Make it nice and soft. See again how we're echoing that green through. So now we're down to our last little bit of grass here. So I'm going to have it a little stronger, a little more yellowy green. And just like with the path, if you put in too much of the light color, you can always go back in and put in more dark. That's fine. You can just go back in with the 1-inch brush and use either Van Dyke Brown or Midnight Black or both, and then just re-put in those dark areas. And again, I am touching so lightly right now. So lightly. So lightly. So lightly. Grab a little more yellow over here. And some of that yellow over here. A little more yellow. Little brighter. Little brighter. See, sometimes I'll put in the little lines there and then wipe off the paint and then go back in and kind of blend downward with the grass. But it makes it look nice and plush. So let's go back in, tap a little bit over here. And again, I like to have like the edges of the painting a little darker, a little softer. That way it kind of brings the viewer's eye towards the middle. And same thing over here. So I kept tapping that one little area there to get it soft. I think I want it a little softer down here too. And maybe a teensy bit brighter right at the corner. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And maybe a little up there. So if there's any little areas that want a little more sparkle, now's the time. A little more sparkle. But again, the light's coming through right through the path here, so your sparkle's going to be more towards the center. So I'm just tapping a little bit of yellow here and there just to sparkle it up. Just a little bit. Let me get some too. You get some sparkle. And a little over here. Okay. Just gonna step back, see if there's anything else that I want to put in there. I think the only thing, maybe a little more yellow on this bush here. So I'm gonna go back in with my oval brush. And knock down that green a little bit. maybe over here too. There we go. I think that's better. A little more yellow. More yellow, less green. Okay. Cool deal. All right. So there we have it. Here we have a finished painting there. It's about a little over an hour. So that is a nice little fall painting there. Just a little path into the depths of the woods. And this would be like a really cool one to do in different color schemes or different seasons. Think about a winter scene with this, maybe like blues and purples. That would be fun. That would be fun. Same kind of thing, a little fantasy area where you can go and read your book there. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to see more tutorials like this, go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification button. That way, whenever my tutorials come out, you'll be notified. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.